Hi lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tola. If you're new here or you're just stopping by for the first time, you're welcome. Please consider subscribing and remember to click on the bell notification icon. That way you get notified every single time I upload a new video, which is at least once every week. Welcome to the year 2023, everyone, and thank you to 19,000 subscribers. Thank you for always sharing and coming back to watch content here. All right, so without talking too much, let me just say, yes, you read the title right. The UK government has finally heard me. A couple of months ago, I put out a video talking about the truth about the healthcare assistant job. So in that video, I talked about some of the expectations people had about the healthcare work and coming into the UK, the realities they met on ground. And I spoke about the very obvious one regarding the healthcare assistant job for tier 2 sponsorship. So I remember that when I made that video, I said that people should start reporting employers, agents, and just companies who are looking to exploit them and are asking for ridiculous amounts. This is something that I have seen personally. So I've worked with people with different kind of stories, and one of the striking ones that I can say personally that I have seen is for me to work with 3 different guys, and those 3 different guys came to work for a particular company, and those 3 guys did not know each other from anywhere. They were recruited by a middleman who billed them separately. Obviously, these guys did not know each other from anywhere, but as they got to know each other on the job, one of them paid 6,000 for his COS, the other one paid 10,000 for his COS, and the other one paid 14,000 for his COS. I'm talking about the same company. It was outsourced by a middleman. These are the harsh realities of people who are coming to the UK, and for people who are looking for longer stay and looking to get off the tier 4 visa that really doesn't give you enough room to explore and to work, and also it doesn't count towards your indefinite leave to remain. I mean, the desperation is real. Like, everybody can see it, everybody understands the importance of getting on the tier 2 visa as opposed to just remaining on the tier 4 visa. But the reality of paying for a COS has become strikingly, shockingly scary. And the way it is right now, the UK government is not just penalizing employers or companies or agents who are offering COS for payment. Obviously, we know that this is an illegal transaction. It's not even supposed to happen. That is why I think companies are going through middlemen to cover their tracks and just to make it look like they do not know anything about it. But the way we know, or what we know, is that when you apply for jobs, you see these jobs and they actually say it in their job description that they offer tier 2 sponsorship. And as soon as you get talking and you bring it up and you mention tier 2 sponsorship, they start to either say no, they don't sponsor, or you will have to speak to someone else, and then they redirect you. The truth of the matter is, apart from the fact that this is illegal, the UK government has started doing something very shocking. I've had this in more than one place, and it's not just the companies that are suffering. I don't know if you are aware now, but there's something that the UK government is doing. It's not new. A lot of people will actually testify to it. There's a particular company that offers jobs to people, and you pay for COS through them. And because of the desperation and how people think, no, that's the only way, a lot of people actually flocked to that agency, and they got their COS through them. Now, because of how loud they went about their business, and because of how greedy the employer was, and how it just became, this is the way, this is the plug, this is the how word spreads around. People got to hear about it, and a lot of people who got to hear about the payment and the fees and how high it was, they got really angry, and one thing led to another, words traveled, and the UK government got to hear about this particular agency. They did not just penalize this particular agency, they didn't just revoke their license. What they did was every single person on that payroll was given a number of months or weeks to leave the country. I'm not talking about one person, and this affects families. I mean, the wife could apply for COS, and the whole family comes in on her own tier 2 sponsored visa, and the whole family has to go back. It was very tragic that people started to beg and appeal, but once the judgment was made, I mean there was really nothing that could be done about it. So I've heard this happen not once, not twice. I think I've heard it about 3 times right now, where agencies get shut down. And the ripple effect of that is that, people who have come in under those agencies get penalized and are given a few number of weeks to go home. I mean, this is something that I try to tell people not to pay for COS, even on the Telegram group. This is something I mention a lot. You're not supposed to pay for COS. And because of the desperation of people who are willing to stay at all costs, so that you can avoid the cost of IHS fees, and so that you can just pay less for visa renewal, especially for people who come in with families, it's really not worth it, because country where they work, I mean, when the penalties come, it's not just you that's going to suffer for it. I know a lot of us migrate for our families and to just have a better life. But at the end of the day, how beneficial is it when you get penalized and the whole family has to go home because the visa has been revoked and you are given a few weeks to evacuate the country? I mean, you do not want to be a fugitive and have to be on the run and start moving your children out of the house and leave where you are without address and be, walking from hand to mouth. I mean, that's not really what you want your jackpot story to be at the end of the day. I mean, a lot of us came in for a better life, but in search and pursuit of that better life, let us try to do things the right way. I know a lot of us have spent a lot of money to come into the country, especially those who came in on the Tier 4 visa and you're looking to stay on. Please do everything in your power to abide by the rules. Do not work more than 20 hours if you are on the Tier 4 visa. I'm talking about the students who work overtime and work back to back and say, no, they don't care. As long as they're getting their tax, they're happy. Hello, people are getting penalized, and at the end of the day, you only have yourself to blame, because these rules are there, and no matter how much tax the UK government gets from you, when it comes to following set rules, they do not joke about it. But I digress. I mean, this is just me coming out to say, I believe that, this is becoming a movement. Let us stop this greedy movement of employers looking to feed off people's desperation to stay back in the country, and actually start reporting this. One major way that you can do that is through unions that I've heard. I mean, if you are working in healthcare and you're not signed up to a union, you're on a slippery slope. I'm going to make a video on that and how you can go about it, what the cost is, and things like that. But I mean, it is going to be very beneficial if you have a union. But one of the benefits of joining a union is obviously the information that you get. You'll also be able to have legal representation in some matters, especially if you're facing investigations, or there's a query at work or something like that. I mean, you are not alone in the matter, especially in a country where the cost of legal fees are through the roof, and you kind of need someone in your corner when things like that arise. So another way is to go to the police if you have noticed things like that, or if you are brave enough to just approach someone to say that, okay, yes, this law enforcement officer, I have noticed something. Or you could just call the police, or just put the word out there, let people know, and let's put an end to all of this, because it's becoming ridiculous. I mean, someone going through the same middleman in court, someone paid 6,000, the other person paid 14,000. I mean, that's like more than ×2 of the amount of money that this person paid. I mean, it's ridiculous, the kind of amount, and this is even chicken change to some of the amounts that I've heard. Some are even less, but at the end of the day, it's illegal. It should be stopped, and let us come with one voice to actually stop this nonsense and put an end to all of this. It's my prayer that all of us who are looking to settle in this country go through the right way, and eventually get what we want the right way, because at the end of the day, what are we doing this for? You don't want a stain in your past. So that is it for this video today. If this video has helped you in any way, please do well to give it a huge thumbs up. It does a lot to help my analytics and also get other people to see this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys. Wow.